back with another video. So if you guys see me eating rice in between, because this is a craving and this baby wants it, and we're closer to my pregnancy or whatever. So I'm gonna speak on, obviously, if you guys are on my social media, on my TikTok, my Instagram, you obviously seen the video and screenshots of me exposing my son's father, my 5-year-old, for the harassment that he's been doing throughout this whole pregnancy. And I had enough of it and tired of it, and it's finally good to release it. So I will be speaking on that and talking about it in the backstory, because I've held it in for so long. I dealt with it behind closed doors for so long. Only the people that knew me from time, who knew I was dating him, knew the real shit that he was doing. And of course, they don't fucking like him either. And you know, it's the control that he doesn't have now, which is why he was doing all the harassment, because he was so cheesed and so upset or whatever. So I'm gonna speak on a little bit of the backstory, because I don't want to tell the full story, because it has to do with my housing situation, of course. So I'm gonna wait till a later date to talk about that as well. But in the event of him, you know, when he was living with me, we haven't been together for like 6 years. There's times we tried, but it didn't work, and I was just over the relationship, because I was like, I'm not happy. You're controlling. You make promises. You don't follow through. You don't follow through with them. You're a narcissist. You don't do anything for your kid. You're jealous of me. You're jealous that I do music. You're telling your friends that we've been dating. You're telling your friends to stalk my social media. You're telling your friends all this kind of weird crap and stupid shit. So I'm gonna set the record straight now. I'm gonna set the story straight. Because obviously people were looking at me as a hoe, or somebody who was cheating on my child's father when we were together and we're still together, and all this kind of stupid foolishness. And he even has his stupid ass parents fool too. So we haven't been together for so long, and in the event of when he was living with me, he was putting his hands on me, threatening to put his hands on my kid, on our son. Because my son is, at the time he was like 4, but you know, my son does silly things, and he was putting Nutella on the wall, like, you know, he's a baby, he's gonna do foolishness. So he at one point threatened to slap my son in the face, and I came to my son's defense. I'm like, who are you talking to like that? And you know, he proceeded to slap me against the wall and try to like push me away, and then laugh in my face about how, oh, who are you gonna call your family? You don't have them, and laugh and all that kind of shit, because I didn't have nobody at the time. And my family that I called my neighbors at the time, I wasn't talking to them. So, and it's not because there was any big issue. It's just, you know, sometimes we just outgrow people, and maybe this is a time where, you know, you guys have to be apart. But I mean, now we're talking and we're cool, and you know, I communicate with one of them as well a lot on a daily basis. And, you know, for them to hear about it, it's sad, because it's like, you know, I obviously care about them. I'm pretty sure they probably do care about me or whatever. But to not have someone to call and be like, oh my God, like this is what I'm going through. It's just weird, because I'm also grown too. So I also moved like I can handle it myself, because that's the person I am. So yeah, and I was going through that. There's one point where, you know, I didn't want to sleep in the same room with him, which was my room. So I proceeded to sleep in his room, which was my son's room, but my son does not like his bed, so my son just prefers to co-sleep. But obviously that's going to change, because baby's coming, and I'm hoping to rearrange things around the house. Or even find a bigger place, because this is really small. Hi, Nyla. So, you know, and he, at one point when I wanted to go and take my space and go into the next room, he got upset, and, you know, I said, he's like, why are you taking the pillow? There's extra pillows. What are you upset about? there's extra pillows. There's like 4 pillows. What are you upset about? I'm like, I bought them, so I can take one. So because of that, he decided to make food, right? And literally not only not stop me from feeding or going into the fridge or getting something to eat or trying to eat from the food that he made, but also my son. So I went and I had a little bit of like some money left or whatever from OSAP and some other savings I did, and I basically went out and got pizza and I ate, and he was not eating any, and I gave some to my son or whatever. Another money wasted. And he thought it was funny. He would pull me away from me. He's like, oh, it's your pillow, then you're not getting my food that I cooked, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, dealing with all of that too, right? And then after that, you know, not helping with my son. Like, we were dating other people. Like, I was dating a girl at the time, and, you know, I don't fucking like her, but, you know, wish her all the best or whatever. And she was here late. And, you know, my son was still up because at the end of the day, he had school, but his school was more farther. His school was more in the East End. And basically, he was up, and it was like 1 a.m. Because my son does not only did I find out why my son has so much energy, but my son also, when there's people around, he's very excited, he's very social, so he's not going to want to sleep if I put him to bed. So, that was before I found out my son had ADHD, which I recently just found out. And so basically, he when my girlfriend at the time left, he started to put his hands on me. He started to throw books in my face, shoes in my face when I was putting my son to sleep. You know, cussing because he had to make the lunch and And it's like, you don't drop him in the morning all the time. So why are you upset? Why are you mad? For what? You're a loser. You don't do shit. You come home and you sit down and you try to criticize the food that I cook. You try, like, if that's the case, how about you learn some recipes and cook your own food? Cause you don't know how to do shit. That's why. So, like, all that kind of stuff, it was just like dealing with that. And I bought a lot of this crap up. I wrote it in my song, so obviously there's gonna be a part where I do speak about my child's father and the relationship that I had with him. And again, this is all going over. We haven't been together. We haven't been together since like 2019, like at all. Because I just like every time I've tried, I don't feel fulfilled at all. I just don't feel like I need to be with this person. Like, he just disgusts me. Like, you know, you're sitting there, you're making promises that you know you're not gonna follow through. You're not stability. You're not even stable yourself. You don't even know what you're doing with your life. You don't even know where you're going. And when you start to grow and have a kid, your perspective on everything changes. You start to see what you want for your life, and then you start to look at people and like, what are you really doing with yours? And that goes for friends that I had around me at the time. I look at them as like, you're still sitting here doing the same shit, partying, going with niggas. You're not getting a job, you're not finishing school. And I'm not saying that everybody needs to go finish school, but at least do something, like work, stack up your money, doing something with your kids, and stop worrying about men. Hold on, I gotta open the door for that. You know, it's like you're out doing the same shit, you're partying, you're doing whatever. Like, I cannot be around somebody who thinks about men 24/7. Like, okay, you want a man, cool, well, but you have kids now. You know what I mean? So you need to change your perspective. And obviously, I'm not gonna judge everybody because everybody has their own little ways of life. But yeah, it causes you to really look at people and be like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you know how many times, his name is Valerie. You know how many times this guy is telling me he's going back to school, 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 lying to the court, saying he's going back to school. That's why my child support was so low. It was 177 because they believed him. Now they're not believing him at all. They're not. He has to provide proof. He hasn't even filed his income taxes. He's filed his taxes, but he's not sending them in because he knows that he's making more than what he's saying. And thank God for the judge that I have. Thank God for, you know, the lawyer that I have, because they see through that bullshit. They don't believe it's 2023. You're definitely not making more than less than minimum wage. At a job that you work 3 to 11, line that you work 1 weekend a month. No, you don't. You work like 3 weekends a month. If really that was the case and you only work 1 a month and you claim you take days off, why can't you take your kid for the weekend? So all that too that I had to deal with. And it's like, you don't do shit. You sit here, you talk about your friends, you try to portray to your friends that you're this person, that you live in a condo, which is, first of all, my name was on the lease only. You live in a condo. You sit here and you literally come back to me telling me that, you know, you try to act this way in front of them. You try to act like you have all this shit together when you fucking don't. It was all me. So the only thing that this guy has done was only pay half for the last month's rent, and that was it, and half of rent. But at the point, he couldn't even help me with the rent, because the job he was making wasn't a lot. And then not even that, he was probably spending on some other shit too, because you're supposed to have it together and you didn't have it together. Forgetting to pay hydro bills, forgetting to pay internet bills, that was all me that I had to do, on top of going through the abuse that I had to go through. So, you know, there was that. There was when I finally found the strength to actually cut him off and tell him to get the fuck out of my house and call the police and plan it out, because I knew exactly when he ended work and when he was coming home. That day when there's a time where his family brought us food from Costco. They bought like groceries, and there's times where, yeah, I'm grateful for them for the things that they have done. But they bought groceries, they bought like oil, stuff for us for cooking and snacks, so we were set. We were good for groceries. Didn't have to buy groceries for, I think, for like 2-3 months. And the day he got kicked out, he took all the groceries out of my fridge. All the oil, all of the, you know, the toilet paper, all of that shit he took out, and he left with it. And he tried to hold on to the key, but I already told the police to take the key out of his hand. He has it. And, you know, all of that shit he really tried to do. And he got kicked out. And then, you know, he lied to his family, told them some nasty-ass story. And I was in the fucking case, obviously. So, you know, my kid and I were starving. And if I didn't have a leftover money to go and buy a little bit of groceries and stuff to eat, and thank God for food banks. I'll always be grateful for food banks. But at the time, like, I really had to, you know, do that. Because I'm thinking about my kid. More than just myself, I'm thinking about my fucking son. That's what I'm thinking about. And at the time, because I was still in school, it wasn't time for me to... I still had 3 months before I was able to apply for Ontario Works social assistance. So I had to wait a long time, and I had to like really struggle, and it was a lot. You know what I mean? Going through my situation with rent and housing and whatnot. And I don't know how I kept it strong for my kid, but I did. You know, and not a lot of people knew exactly what I was fucking going through, but I went through a lot. I still keep a smile on my face. I'm very humble, and I work and I do my shit. And you know, I also thank the people who are getting readings from me as well, because that also helped me a lot, from getting tarot readings, people paying for the readings, because they don't know that they were feeding my kid that day. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of things I'm very grateful for after that situation happened. And so it just continuously began to, like, you know, he tried to like weasel his way back, and like at the time he wasn't taking his kid. I kept telling him, come get your kid, it's time for your weekend. He didn't want to come. And you know, at the time I said, fuck it, I'm gonna start dropping my son there. Started dropping him without his permission. I didn't even give a fuck. I didn't care. Every other weekend my son was going there, because I was tired of my son crying and asking for his daddy all the damn time. Asking. I don't like to see my son in that state, because I honestly feel it for him. You have a father that's there that doesn't even want to pay you no mind, but wants to come act like he wants to play house. Like, for someone who had a father who abused them and wasn't really there, but only there for his needs, to someone who's actually capable of being there but just chooses not to be because he doesn't want no responsibility, it's sad to see. And you thought you would learn better. Someone who comes from a 2-parent household, who they're African and all this kind of culture and whatnot, you would expect different. You would expect better. But because he claims his dad wasn't fully there for him and all that kind of crap, you want to go and repeat the cycle with my kid? Absolutely not. It's a privilege for my son to even have that much love and his face to light up for this guy who treats his mother like shit. And he doesn't even know. And I don't speak on it to him. I don't speak about his dad in a negative way. But has his dad done that in front of my face? Yes, his dad has said, "Oh, I'm sorry I gave you a dumbass mother. I regret having a child with you," in front of my kid. Telling my kid all these bullshit lies, all this kind of crap. Like, you don't understand the karma that you just built up. You don't ever tell a kid something bad about the parents. I see my mom do it to me and to my brothers all the time. All the time. I can never do that to my son. Because I see how, talking about my son's dad, talking about his dad to him, for him, it's like looking at a superhero. And I don't want to ever crush that for him. Ever. So I just hold my tongue. But I deal with it in other ways. I journal now. I meditate. I have my ways of healthy letting it go. And I do talk about it with people who are close to me. But yeah, it was supposed to, I just try to avoid that. And I try to deal with it in my own positive way. And as soon as I just started to become strong, after a while you start to really not being with him for so long, not having to live with him, not having to do all that, you start to get more of yourself, fall in love with yourself, and start talking to people or whatnot freely. We were not together when he was living here, and the reason why I even let him live with me was because I felt bad for him. The fact that he kept talking about, oh, his family's toxic, his family's this, his family's that. They're so negative. They talk down to him, and I felt bad. Not because I'm in love with him or whatever, because I cared about him. He was my child's father. Even after moving to Massey and him telling me, I never asked you to move there, laughing, not acting like he was gonna get a house for us, I got the house. I ended up moving out. I ended up doing all that on my fucking own, not him. So, I still had to care for myself, felt bad. And then that's the only reason why I allowed him. But for me to kind of and at the time when we were talking, I just wanted another kid. I was ready for another kid. And not because I wanted to be with her. I didn't want to be with her. I just wanted to have another kid with the same guy. And, I wasn't getting pregnant. But I figured out that God did not want me to have another baby with this guy. I was like, no, fuck that, nigga. And I took that and I knew. I had an inkling. I already knew. And he was like, oh, I think it's because you need to finish school. But in my head, I knew the real reason. So, sorry, food break. My throat's also getting dry. I need to get some water. So, yeah. I love rice. So, all of that, dealing with all of that and dealing with all the lies. When I started music, he was jealous. He started cussing me every day, talking about shit, how I think I can sing. All this kind of crap, getting judged. Like, oh, I thought you were just taking vocal lessons. Why are you releasing music? Telling his friend on the phone, who also has fucking 4 kids now, that, oh, Sheenique's making music now, so we gotta step up our game. You sound like a whole weirdo. You sound like a loser. You're jealous of your baby mom because she's pursuing something that she actually wanted to pursue from the time she was young, but her dream was crushed by her fucking mother. And my mom made it seem like I was only going to be successful if my brother, who everyone knows Shaq is dope, made it. I'll only be successful if he gets signed. Are you fucking stupid? Why would I be successful if my brother gets signed? Are you dumb? I'm capable of doing my own shit. You're weird. So, now that the secret's out with my family, and I'm still working on the album, well, of course, so there's more shit that's going to be revealed about them, but you know, now that's out, you know, people know a little bit of what I was going through and dealing with that and having to, you know, be in my brother's shadow through high school and you know, having people be around me to act like they're friends and really just want to come into my house to meet my brother and then act ways, and you know what I mean? So dealing with all that, and for him to know my upbringing and to still treat me like that, it's stupid. It's like you're sick in your head. And so yeah, so all of that started from my first apartment when I moved. I was still living in the East End, and that's where the abuse started. He used to throw me down. He used to slam me. He used to tell me the food I was making was shit. He said, what the fuck is this? He used to buy food in front of our faces, me and my kids' face, and eat the food. And then let us just eat the food that I made because he didn't like it. And I was like, you know what? Fuck you. Or I'll come home, he's like, oh, you didn't cook yet? Like, who the fuck are you? Start cooking yourself. I don't give a fuck if you're tired. I've been dealing with a kid 24/7. Shut the fuck up. So, after that, I moved into this apartment, and then shit got even worse because the ego got big, and he thought he was a superstar because he lived in a nice condo-style apartment and was boasting to his friends, come home even tell me about it. And I was just in my head like, you're a coward. But anyways, and you know, after he got kicked out, his friend was stalking me, and he had his friend and his little brother stalk me on social media. And basically, we were not together. We haven't been together now. It's been 6 years. We have not been together. And went out with the guy who I'm pregnant for now. I went on a date. I met him in August of 2021. Yeah. And, or 2022. It was 2022. And, literally, went on a date, and he's texting me on WhatsApp, oh, my friend just sent me this, you're on a date. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, why are you messaging me? We haven't been together for so long. Why are you messaging me about I'm dating this guy? That's none of your business. It's none of your business. And I realized at the time, like, he had his friends and people around thinking that we've been dating for the longest time. No, we have not. I'm not your girl. Stop calling me a girl to your friends. Like, I'm not your girl. We haven't been together for how long? Like, me and you are not dating. That's it. Simple as that. We've been dating for years. You can't be a father. You can't be a man. You don't know how to be a man. You act like a kid. Like, you know what I mean? You're emotionally unstable. Like, you're literally, your name as a female, like, you have a female name, is perfect for you. Like, no offense to, you know, the other people who name their kids, like, feminine guy names. I don't care about that. But in my, whatever I'm dealing with is how I'm saying it towards my child's father. So, yeah, it's like you're sitting there making lies and having your friends thinking I'm some type of hoe that I'm cheating on you and all this kind of blood. When you're the one who's been cheating, you're the one who's been allowing girls to come into the connection when we were dating. You had me in third parties. You had girls posting me on their fucking Instagram. You had girls trying to friend me up and talk their shit or whatever. Like, you're a mix-up. You're weird. Like, and you had me try to put me in a situation to fight, and like, I don't like you. Like, you make it seem like it's this story and it's not this fucking story. I know how many times I said I was gonna expose this guy, and this guy laughed like, no, you know you're not, whatever. And I finally did it, and now you block me on social media. Good for you. And I know your friends are gonna stop stalking me now because now they see the truth. They must feel dumb as well, because I'm done with you. You're a piece of shit. And one thing that made me blow up was because you're talking about my unborn baby, someone who doesn't know who's coming into this world innocent as hell, doesn't do nothing to nobody, and you're sitting there and you're disrespecting my baby and my pregnancy. You're telling me my baby's gonna be ugly ass kid, wishing bad on my baby, stuff like that. You know, saying the baby's gonna be ugly, telling my son that's not his brother, lying to your mother and your father, saying I'm gonna marry the guy who got me pregnant. having your mother come to my face and tell me that you said that to her, having her come tell me that, oh, I don't care if you married a guy. And I'm looking at her like, I don't give a fuck if you care or not. Like, I just sit there and listening to him like, one ear going out the other. I don't give a fuck about you either. Like, you're telling me shit that, focus on your grandchild. Focus on my son Javion. That's who's your grandchild. Don't worry about what the fuck I'm doing. I haven't been with your son in years. I don't care if he's lying to you and telling you that. Like, I don't even give a fuck. I don't care. Like, don't sit there and try to have a conversation with me and da-da-da. When I already put his mom in his place for, she used to see me outside with my son and ignore me, not even say hi, and say hi to Jayon and pass me straight. So I paged her one day. I said, don't ever come in and not say hi to me and then say hi to my son. She wants to go be like, oh, are you my mom? No, but you're definitely not my fucking mom. So what I say fucking goes. If you want to see my kid, there's a mutual fucking respect. Period, point blank. I don't care. And Value tried to get mad. Get mad. I don't give a fuck. Get mad. Because at the end of the day, she's in the wrong. I don't have no respect for no adults who think they run shit. You don't run me. You're not my mother. Period, point blank. You're my son's grandma, and that's all you ever fucking be. So, anyways, yeah, he had them thinking I've been married to them, like, dating him, I'm gonna marry the guy. Like, you're weird. Like, mind your business. Stop telling lies. And then when she comes to me about it and I'm telling you about it, you're lying about it. Your mom just told me. How the fuck are you lying about something that you know you did tell? How the hell is she gonna know? I didn't tell my son for a while that I was pregnant. My son did not know. His son doesn't even know who the dad is. But he'll come apparent to him in time. So for you to go and lie and say that you don't know, like, you're weird. And so basically, they kept stalking him, whatever. And, you know, I started saying little things on social media. I started talking about him because I was like, okay, like, you're weird. And I knew you were watching, but he didn't know I was going to go to the extent of exposing the screenshots 2 days ago. He didn't know. But I didn't care. Because I had enough of it. So, you know, all of that, dealing with all of that. And I didn't care. I was very private with my pregnancy because I just didn't want nobody. That's why I didn't even have a baby. Like, I did a gender reveal, just me and my kid on live on TikTok. And I didn't want to have people around me because I just feel like I just really need to be by myself with this pregnancy and just do my own thing. Because that's just the energy I was in. I just wanted to have a peaceful pregnancy, no stress. I stressed a lot when I was pregnant with Javion. And I just didn't want that for this pregnancy. And he tried to bring the stress. And, you know, try to act like, you know, what's it called? Saying that, yo, your baby's for the streets. You're a broke bitch. If you want to go on my TikTok and see all the screenshots, it's there. But, yeah, I'm a broke bitch because I'm taking your ass to court. Because you're not doing your part as a father. So if you're not going to take your son, the child support is raising. Because I need to put him in activities since he has ADHD. He needs to burn that energy out. He needs groceries. He needs food. On top of that, I'm telling you to get him snatched, you're telling me no. Huh? Like, you're asking me what's the size of his clothes. It's been 5 years. He's 5 years old. You should know. You don't, and you're telling me because you don't live with him. You don't need to live with your kid to know everything. Ask, buy. Go buy your shit. Your sister wants to buy stuff. Instead of you texting me or calling them my phone, knowing that I don't want to talk to you because you're disrespectful. And you're telling your sister, oh, never mind. Like, what? You know your son needs shit and you're sitting there and not even allowing him to get the stuff that he needs from your family members. Top of that, you want me to pack pull-ups? No, buy your own pull-ups. Buy your own medicine, have it there. Buy your own wipes, have it at your house. Buy his clothes, have it there for him. Like, stop asking me to bring stuff. You already know. Put in more effort to see your fucking kid and have him at your house because you know your ass is not moving out anytime soon from your family. So, you know, it's all that. Yeah, look at him like, I'm gonna go back to Massey. Said I'm gonna go back to all these girls that wanted him, even at Massey. Like, you're weird, you're a loser, you're just on the same level as him, because how the hell are you looking at somebody else's relationship, not even knowing the fact that they're going through that shit and wanting somebody else's man, just because they look cute out on the outside as a picture? You're a waste, you. Hell, you can have him now because he's useless to fucking me. So, yeah, like, I just felt like going through all of that and still being strong, still riding out for my kid. Like, my kid's my hero. I'll do anything for that little kid. He drives me crazy, and now I know why. But he drives me crazy, and I love him to death. Like, he's the sweetest person. Aside from his hyperness, he's very cuddly, he's very caring. Like, I try to not let him see me cry about other things. Like, and when he does hug me. He just tell me, oh, don't cry. It's okay. He'll try to make me laugh. But I avoid the crying in front of him because I don't want him to see that. He doesn't need to see it. He doesn't deserve to see that. So, yeah, like, you have this beautiful boy that you don't even want to be in his life like that. You just want to come in periodically. And then when he's at your house, you want to go and sit there and tell him shit in his ear. And you want to go to Dollarama, buy him a bunch of stuff. Every time I come, he comes back to my house. He has stuff from Dollarama. And he expects me to go and do... No. That's why he asks for his dad, too, because there's a lot of rules in my house. And there's certain stuff I don't par with. Like, you can't do certain stuff in here. Like, because you need to learn how to behave. You need to learn some sort of discipline. Yes, you can have fun. But you will get the things that you want me to buy when you're doing good things. You know what I mean? But when you're being bad and you're doing all this you're not going to get it. For them, he doesn't even know how to handle his kids, so you're going to shut him up with candy. Like, what are you doing? So, all of that, too, was just, like, annoying. It's like, you're doing stuff, and I'm trying to teach him the right way, and you're trying to teach him another way, and it's confusing him, and it's making him act out, and da-da-da-da. Like, he should not be crying off the bus every time for you. Like, he should not. It's unhealthy. It's embarrassing. Not even for me, it's embarrassing for you as a father because you're not there. And then you can't even handle him full time, but you want to tell me, oh, you have full custody. So one time I actually said to him, like, you know what, I'm going to tell the courts, give it all to him as a joke though. He's like, nah, you stupid, I don't want full custody of him. Because you know your ass can't handle it. You know you're not going to have the freedom that you had. So don't disrespect me as a mom. Don't disrespect me as a female. Because you know that you can never be me. You can never handle shit like I do. When I just had my son, you know what he said to me? He's like, oh, you think you're going to be a better parent than me? Damn right I am. I still am. It shows till today. It shows till today. You're a jealous bitch who can't even get your shit together. It's been 5 years. You're almost 30. You're still sitting here on your ass doing a bunch of crap, running around with your friends. Probably not now because your ego's probably crushed, so you're probably gonna hide. But anyways, yeah, so, you know, dealing with all of that and fucking having to be a parent, having to be Sheenique and pursue all my songs. You know, my son just got into daycare. And after a while having him there, like, you know, it's a lot because now I have a little bit more time to do things, but it's still me alone picking him up. I'm pregnant, I'm tired, I have my puppy. So it's a lot. So the fact that you can't even take him every other weekend and you're complaining about it, it's the fact that even recently, like, he told his family to not ever, after calling CES and calling the police on me because I was not here to pick up because I wasn't here at home to meet my kid to come home. I was out with my friend because I'm allowed to go out. The fuck, I don't have my kid for the weekend. You went, instead of taking your son back home and waiting till I'm home, you went and did the whole extraness, calling CAS, talking to police, saying I'm doing all this shit to him, which is not true. And then have the audacity to, when I actually come there, to actually try and pull my son away from me, to basically act like I'm doing something to my kid to show the police. Like, you're an actor. And the fact that you're even proud of yourself, then you want to call me, oh, it wasn't that serious. I just have to hang up the phone on him. Because I made sure that the TS people called him too and explained to him, like, this is not even a fucking joke. It's not a joke. And I explained to CS the situation. I'm like, he's a little actor. He does this shit for attention. And because he thinks it's fun. It's not a game. Life is not a game. CS is not a game. It's not a game. So then, basically that happened. And then, you know, I paged him about it, whatever, hanged up the phone. Then I don't even want to hear him talk. And the parents came to me on the weekend that I was dropping my son there. And they're like, oh, you know, I'm sorry, we can't let Javion back in the house because Valerie says we don't want problems with Valerie. So Valerie says that he can't go. Last time I checked, Valerie's not paying your fucking rent. So why the fuck is Valerie telling you in your own house that you cannot see that Javion cannot come here? And as grandparents, it pisses me off for you to come and tell me that, because that's your grandchild. That's not just a stranger, that's your grandchild. Then you're telling me, his mom's trying to tell me, oh, you love him, that's your friend. So shut the fuck up and take your kid and put your son in your place. Like, and I said to myself, I don't care if he wants to run his mouth about this text message to his family. I don't give a fuck. If they come to me on a note of that shit again, it will be the last time they ever see my son ever again. And I would hate to do that to my kid, but there's no respect. They need to understand what it's like to lose somebody that they care about over believing their son. And the thing is, they know their son's a liar. They know their son's the truth. They just don't want to fucking believe it. So it's the fact that you had the audacity to come and tell me that. And they took him that day. Eventually took him that day because they're like, oh, you called the police on him. And I had to explain the situation to him. Like, no, I didn't call the police on them. Police on your son. Your son called the police on me because I wasn't there to meet Javion when he came to my house. I went out with my friend. I had to go with my friend to a doctor's appointment. Me and that friend are not close anymore, but I don't really care. So I had to explain to him, like, it's not like I wasn't there. He called it. How does that make sense? Why would you want to be in your son's care and I'm going to just randomly call the police? Does that make sense? Like, use your fucking brain. Use your brain. So basically, they're like, okay. They're like, okay. You know, she's like, I know you're nice. I know Vally's nice. I'm like, yeah, okay. I just listened to her. Vally's not nice, but anyways. I just listened to her. Because I'm not going to disrespect her. At the end of the day, that's her fucking son. She's going to defend her son. You know, I don't agree with her parenting, but anyways. So, yeah, it was very annoying at the fact that he went and he did that or whatever. So I told her, you know, we still talk to each other nice. Last time I dropped him, I said, I let him know that, you know, Javon's coming. She's like, okay, no problem. Took him, said we're good, fine. You know, she was happy to see him. Yes, she hasn't seen him in like a week and a half or something. So I just sent him there. And, you know, he was happy to be there. He's always happy to see his grandparents and his dad or whatever, his uncles. And I don't want to take that away from him, but there's this, like, at this point, you're showing me that you don't care about your grandchild because of your son. So I feel like I will temporarily, eventually, have to take it away from them because there's no respect. Like, why are you still babying your son? You need to kick your son out and let him go explore life and live on his own. Like, he's a loser. So, yeah. And I dealt with a lot. I dealt with even his sisters trying to tell me, like, you know, Value's not serious about you because he didn't introduce you to his parents, or we're not lying to him, telling him a bunch of shit. He tried to hide my pregnancy too from his parents. And that didn't turn out because I ended up showing up to their door. Anyways, because I'm crazy. I don't care. I don't play about that shit. So, you know, all that too. And it's painful to see. It was a painful to see because I'm more aching for my kid because I see how my kid loves them off because my kid doesn't have my side of the family. And he's not allowed to be around my side of my family because of the abuse I've experienced. And I won't ever want to put him through the trauma I have fucking experienced. There's so many times that I've tried with my family and they just are on the same bullshit. Oh, you need to move back. You need to help pay bills with Javon's baby bonus. You need to do this. You need to do that. On top of that, I think some of them, if I members have my father's tendencies, I won't name names. You'll just have to wait till the fucking album to hear about it. But I ended up cutting them off and getting a no contact order because I was like, they really do nothing. They really have not changed. I'm done mending fences with them. I really don't care. I really don't get jealous of seeing other people with their families. I really don't. I'm not that bitch. I don't get jealous of other people. It's only for my relationship. If you're trying to take my man, that's a different story. But, or my girl. But if it's anything else where someone's successful, doing better than me, I will never ever get jealous of somebody's success. I don't know what the fuck they went through to get there. I know I'm successful. I know I'm confident in getting my own shit. I don't be salty. I don't let that shit hit me hard. I don't. So, you know what I mean? Like, I dealt with a lot, and that's why I exposed them, because I had it. You're sitting there sending me the court documents that me telling the lawyer the truth after you lying to them, trying to say that you're not working. Huh? If you're not working, take your kid. Take your kid. That's it. Take your kid. So I exposed him, and then after I told the lawyer, and it's on the court document, he sent the court document to me, telling me I'm a broke bitch, I'm a stupid bitch, lying to them. How am I lying? How am I lying? You're working. How am I lying? Saying, he's like, focus on that stupid child that's in my stomach, obviously, how my child's for the streets. I was just sitting there, like, I didn't even respond to him. I said, see you Friday, your kid's coming for the weekend. That's it. I don't care to respond to that. I'm not going to stress my head to respond. And I used to be the type of girl to respond and retaliate back with them. But I was like, yo, I'm not going to waste my time. I'm not going to stress myself out. And thank God when my baby did the stress test on me, my baby is not stressed. But I was not going to do that to myself and to my kid. I was not going to do that. Nope. Nada. So, yeah, like, I had to expose it. I was like, I was telling my cousin, I was like, she's like a family friend, but like, I still look at her as family or whatever. So I was telling her, like, I'm gonna expose him. And I was, my goal was to get it on 6 Buds. So I asked a acquaintance of a friend, about it. And she told me that you have to pay $5,000 for it. I'm not gonna go into detail about our little conversation, obviously, but it is what it is. So, she's like, you have to pay $5,000, and it's mostly, she's like, they have to reach out to you or whatever. So I was gonna do that, but I said to my friend, I ended up leaving that conversation or whatever, and told my cousin, I'm gonna do it. My cousin was telling me, Sheenique, don't do it, that like, leave it to God or whatever. No, I think I'm meant to do it. I made sure I check with my reader first, because obviously, when you do certain things like that, certain stuff can come right back to you. But luckily, I think I was meant to do it, so I was fine. So, I ended up doing it. Posted on TikTok. TikTok tried to ban me, tried to warn me. I said, I made a same video, and I explained it in the video. I'm like, this is not me harassing nobody. This is me making awareness to what other child mothers are going through and exposing him. And that's that. It has nothing to do with being rude or whatever. People need to know about this shit. I've seen I even listened to this girl's podcast. This girl was married to somebody and was getting abused. And then after she broke up with him, tried to fight for custody, he got full custody of the kid. And she's now in battle and fighting for him after all the shit that she went through, all the tears that she's crying, and it's on her TikTok. But did you ban her? So don't ban me, please. Thank you. So, yeah, and I ended up sharing on Instagram now. And I tagged him, and he blocked me after that. Tagged him, I know his friends seen, everybody fucking seen that knows him. Because now you're going to see what it's like. I don't give a fuck about what everyone has to say about the situation. Because at the end of the day, I wasn't doing it for you. I was doing it for myself. And I know that he has a big-ass ego. And he's the type of person that if people find out who he really is, he wants to hide. And so, and there's times where I'd be like, I have my friend beside me and he's calling me and saying all this nonsense. And he doesn't realize that he's on speaker. He doesn't realize that my friend is hearing him. And I'm like, oh yeah. Then I start talking, like, yeah, you hear him now? And then he hangs up the phone. Because you don't want to show people who you really are, honey. But now people know who you really are. And I did that for my peace of mind. I did it to end it because I'm done with that bullshit. Leave me alone. Leave my pregnancy alone. I've been together for how many years? Stop bothering me. There's nothing between us. On top of that, you're trying to tell me to abort the kid for you. How you're gonna buy all that stuff if we get pregnant again. We'll never get pregnant again. Never. I would never abort a kid for you. You're trying to help me. You can't even help yourself. Who said I'm keeping the kid for the man? I'm not keeping the kid for no man. I'm keeping the kid for myself. Because at the end of the day, if I abort it, and I know how I feel about abortion, I honestly understand the feelings who did it. But for me, I know emotion is going to fuck me up. And I'd rather struggle having my second kid, knowing that my kid's probably going to bring bare blessings. He already has. This beautiful baby inside me has brought so many blessings. That I'd rather deal with that than abort my son for you. And even if I were going to, it would be for myself, not for him. So the fact that you try to encourage that shit, lying to your people, making it seem like me and you were been together, you're a loser. You're a weirdo. And I hope people see you for who you really fucking are, because you are not all hot and all painted out to be as you paint yourself to be. You are not. You're literally nothing. Literally nothing. Try to act like you're an authority figure. You're not an authority figure. So you can't even get your shit together, let alone get your shit ready for your kid. It's been how many years? You're like 27. Do something about it. So yeah, I just had to reveal it for my peace of mind. And that's the story. And I'm happy. And, you know, obviously there's not going to be no more messages. Obviously I'm winning in court because, you know, shit's been showing up for me. But I just encourage you guys, like, don't let anybody silence you. Don't let anybody put you through that abuse. Deal with it. Don't be ever afraid to deal with that shit. He's so lucky I haven't pressed charges on him for the abuse that he's done physically. I haven't pressed charges, but it's in his record. So when people look, if he gets called police again, they look at it now, it's on his record. So he's lucky I haven't pressed charges on him, because I could have. But I'd rather you slowly struggle through life and do your own thing and learn the lesson than God give you the lessons that you need to learn, instead of me doing that for you. So I posted my shit, I did my part. It's a new fucking month now. April's coming. I'm letting this shit go. I'm healing now. On to new beginnings. My kid will be coming in a month. I have no time. This is the end of this. This video is the last straw. Again, you want to see screenshots, go on TikTok. But, yeah. A new beginning, I'm done. So that was my story today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm exhausted. I have not been getting enough sleep because of restless leg syndrome and this baby. But stay tuned for more amazing videos coming. The summer is going to be lit. The spring is going to be lit. Many blessings to you all. Thank you for listening, and I hope you guys understand, and you guys be strong, and you guys, you know, go after everything that you go through, and not let no man, no girl, no friends, nothing hold you back. Ever. Always be sure of yourself. And if you're not sure of yourself, take the time to get to know yourself by yourself. Be by yourself, because that is the most rewarding thing you can do for yourself, the most blessing you can do for yourself. So yeah, see you guys later. Thank you guys for watching.